My guest is a host of the Emmy Award winning show Inside the NBA on TNT and King Charles on CNN with the wonderful Gail King. Please welcome my brother, the one and only Sir Charles himself, the Chuckster, the one and only Charles Barkley. What's up, big time? How are you, man? How's everything?
Man, everything is good. All-Star Weekend is like the official beginning of the end for us. So I'm excited. We go, run down. I go right into March Madness soon.
Mhm.
Then I head into the playoffs, and then I get my 4 months vacation. So when you start the season in October, man, you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But once you get to All-Star game and March Madness, the playoffs, you can see those 4 months of playing golf and fishing every day. So I am ready.
Some people have sat up there and looked at some of these players, particularly this All Star weekend, and thought they already had their vacation plans. But since you brought up your 4 months off that you're going to have, where you going for your 4 months? Where you going to be hanging out, Sir
You know
Charles?
I'm in.
What's your
Hey,
plans?
brother. You know I'm in Philly all summer. I'm in Philly all summer. It's too as much as I love living in Arizona. I am not gonna be out there when it's hot as hell. So I'm in Philly all summer. I play golf every day, do a little fishing, going down to Georgia, Alabama. But the main thing I do, man, is just chill and play golf.
Man, let me get to the All Star Weekend because I had Kenny on the other day, your partner in crime on Inside the NBA and TNT, and obviously he couldn't deny the level of competition or lack thereof as a former perennial All Star in this game and a Hall of Famer in this game. What were your thoughts of what you saw, particularly Sunday night for the All Star game, where 397 points were scored and somebody scored 211?
Yeah, it's changed. I think the biggest change, Stephen A. These guys make so much money. They talk about the old days. Well, I'm from the old days. Getting a nice chunk for winning or losing a game meant something because we were only making a couple $1 million. But when you got guys making 30, 40, 50, $60 million, like, I don't even know how much they get now, but it's still probably chump change to those guys. And they're like, hey, I'm not going to get hurt out here. I'm just going to break a sweat for the weekend and things like that. So, listen, we've already killed the Pro Bowl because there's no way to play an exhibition at full speed. Could it be a little bit better? Yeah, it could be a little bit better. But you got guys taking 23s and not trying to get in the way of guys dunking. Everybody's trying to throw alley-oop passes. It's
Right.
never going to be game seven intensity. I wish they could just ramp it up a little bit more. But man, these guys have so much to lose nowadays. It's tough to get any energy in the game.
I'm surprised you say that though,
Oh, I
Charles,
didn't
because
say
you
I
talk
didn't
about them
like it
having so
now.
much to
No,
lose.
I did not say I didn't like it. I didn't say,
I
yeah, I
know.
would love to see it be a little bit more competitive. But like I said, you got guys out there. I would love to see a stat. I really would. And I know we could do it another time.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
bet the least guy in the game was making $25 million this year. I would love to see that number. I really, going out on a limb, I'm trying to think. I guarantee you there's no guy, I shouldn't guarantee it. There's probably no guy
Right.
played in the game made less than $15 million this weekend.
I get that. But listen to where I'm going with this. Because when you look at players like yourself and various others, predecessors, stars who contributed to selling the league, Larry Bird sold the league, Magic Johnson sold the league, Michael Jordan sold the league, you sold the league. I wonder how you feel when you see guys that you basically played a role in helping get this
Yeah.
money be about protecting themselves so they could get more money when they've already made generational money. And before you answer that question, I got a stat I'm going to throw at you. NBA All Stars playing at least 65 games, okay? 20 seasons ago, 92% of the All Stars played at least 65 games in a season. 10 years ago, 88% played at least 65 games in a season. 5 years ago, 78% played at least 65 games in a season. This year, it's projected at 59%.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but these guys have all became businessmen. Number one, it's an honor and a privilege to play in the NBA. You're the best of the best. And your job is to play. This load management thing is an awful situation. I've said before, I'm pretty damn sure teachers and nurses don't want to go to work sometimes with their back, their ankle. It's cold as hell, there's a snowstorm. But I'm pretty sure teachers go to work every day and nurses go to work every day. I actually thought they should have put the minimum at 70 games personally. To play a
Mm.
stupid game like basketball 3 or 4 days a week to make 40, $50 million is the best job in the world. It's the best job in the world. We're not playing football. Those are real men out there, and football's dangerous. Baseball is, you play 162 games. Hockey, they don't get paid what we get paid. We have the best job in the world by far. I truly mean it. I'm not just saying it because I'm on your show. We have the best job. We work 8 months a year basically. We work 3 days a week, maybe four, and we're the luckiest dudes in the world to do what we do. We're so lucky and blessed. And I'm an old guy. Stephen A. I remember the first time, and I'm not talking about me, and I'm talking about Dr. J, Moses, Maurice Cheeks, Bobby Jones, those guys. I remember the first time a guy made $1 million. We were walking around the locker room high fiving each other. We could not believe that an NBA player made $1 million. And now the
Mm.
average salary is $10 million. But the reason load management and all this other BS started was, hey, if you can extend your career another 2, 3 years, you're talking about 50 to 75, $100 million, depending on who you are. These guys, you get all these nerds out there talking, well, it's been proven that guys, if they get rest, not man, please stop it. Guys
Yeah,
play,
these analytics
yeah, yeah,
dudes.
yeah. Guys played the whole and crappy. Well, I shouldn't say crappy. I want to piss Nike off. They got the best. They got the best shoes they ever had today. They got the best medical stuff they've ever had today. They've got the best flying situation. I tell this all the time. I used to travel sometime, and I get to a city, and the trainer Al Domenico said, "I said, Al, I can't lift my shoulder," and he'd be like, "What's wrong, Rook?" He said, "Man, I had this old lady leaning on me the whole flight today, and I didn't have the nerve to wake this old lady up. She was so comfortable on my big fat arm." These guys never have to worry about flying commercial. So I think when they add load management and when I see a guy just like resting, I'm like, come on, man. Come on,
Mm.
that's ridiculous. And listen, I understand sometimes you get tired, you got something hurt, but play 30 minutes. Don't sit out the whole game. And especially
Right.
especially when you're only going to be in an arena one time a year. Like if you know that you're going to go west or east one time a year, that's the only time some fans going to get a chance to see you play. And the ticket prices are ridiculous. If you bring a family and you're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars. If you add in ticket prices, if you therefore God forbid you want something to eat or drink. So, man, I just hate the fact where we are now where these guys don't appreciate. We showed this story the other day about those guys were gonna boycott the All Star game, the first one. I think it was 1957, somewhere like that. Those guys wasn't making no money, and they still played all the time. They were going on buses and trains and everything. I always felt like it was an obligation me try to play anytime I was healthy. And let me tell you something. There's sometimes some things hurt. You still go play. Once the game gets going, you good to go. You got all your energy. Your adrenaline kicks in. You might have to take a shot every now and then. But these guys
Mm.
have abused this load management stuff. And listen, they got people telling like, yo, man, if you only play X amount of games, you can add another couple years to your career. And I understand it's going to be a ton of money. 'Cause I tell you what's going to be interesting, Stephen. Our contract with ESPN and TNT is getting ready to come up
That's
in
right.
another year.
The NBA deal.
Yes. So,
TV rights deal.
so we got three guys making over $60 million a year. We both pay about $2.5 billion a year. We already know the next bidding is going to start at $4 billion, and then Amazon and Apple are coming in.
Yep.
We're going to have guys probably making 70, 80, 90, $100 million in the next 5 years. That's going to be crazy. Number one, God bless them. But think about that. We got three guys making over 60. And when we double the TV revenue and put it on more platforms, we're going to have guys making 70, 80, 90, probably $100 million in the next 5 to 10 years. Number one, God bless
Mhm.
them, but I wish they appreciate how lucky they are because the two most important people in NBA history are Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Those guys saved
Yep.
the NBA. The NBA was too black, a bunch of thugs, a bunch of druggies, And Magic Johnson, Larry Bird changed the whole thing. And every time I see Magic and Bird, I tell them thank you, man, because everybody think the NBA has always been like, well, hey, you come in, you're gonna make a lot of money. No, when I got in '85, the average salary was $250,000. That's 250. Like I say, I told you, like 3 or 4 years later, I can't remember exactly when we saw the first guy make $1 million, and now guys
Yes.
coming in.
Magic Johnson, how about the 25-year, $25 million deal he got from Dr. Jerry
That was
Buss?
the first
That
time.
was
That
Magic
that
Johnson.
was the first time an NBA player made $1 million. And like I say, we were walking around we were around high fiving each other, man. We couldn't believe that an NBA player could make $1 million. And now these guys are so lucky and blessed, and they can't play basketball 3 or 4 days a week. And I know they hide behind all the analytical bullshit from their agents and people like that. What they're really trying to do is extend their career. Cause, like I say, the way the money's been and going, you probably, depending on who you are, you're going to be able to make another 50, 70, $100 million and probably more
Yeah.
going forward if you can extend your career 2 or 3 years. Do I blame them? Yeah, I do blame them because, yo, man, you have an obligation to all the guys you mentioned earlier who didn't make any money. So it's an interesting thing. And these guys are more businessmen today. Instead, in my opinion, I think they're more business.
Instead of basketball
They
players.
don't want to be great. They want all the trappings. They want to make all the money and things. But I'm not sure how many of them. I mean, obviously the elite guys, but a couple of the elite guys want to be great players. But you wonder if some of these guys who were just born into money, because they're not great players. Let's be realistic. I ain't gonna call no names, but you people see who are watching the game. Some of these guys can't play dead in a Western movie.
I got you. Barkley, let me hold you right there because it's a special. This is just a nugget of what folks are going to get. I'm going to be airing a special with you in a couple of days. I want you to hold right there the one and only Charles Barkley. You heard him. You heard what he had to say. That's just touching on what's coming next. So stick around. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show. Back with more in a minute.